having the name Gracie, you not only have to, have just a name, but you have to go do something as well, to make that name. Well, I've had people tell me, I don't care about the guy's last name. It matters about who he is and what he's done. Who is the person? Like, go win like a major tournament, and then you'll have, a following. You'll have, people that want to learn from you. You'll have a career. I know I'm born into the family of Jiu-Jitsu, so the name is recognized already. But, because there are people in my family that, are kind of get lazy. They think, okay, I have the last name Gracie, I'm set for life. I can just open an academy. I don't have to train that hard. I don't have to be an athlete or even that great at Jiu-Jitsu. I can just kind of, fall back on my name. I don't really feel comfortable saying like, oh, come train with me, or I have good technique. Why? Because my last name is Gracie. No, I have good technique because I'm Clark Gracie. So come, see for yourself. Not just fall back on the fact that I was born with the last name that I was born with. You know what I mean? I guess I always found being a competitor and challenging yourself, pushing yourself to your limits to be like an honorable thing to do. And at first I felt like it was my duty to maybe represent my family name, defend my family name, show that we support Jiu-Jitsu. I think growing up I remember hearing people say, oh, the Gracies are finished, nobody's fighting anymore. I felt from that even more inspiration to say, okay, like I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be the competitor, I'm gonna be out there, representing the family. I suppose with that mentality, it put a lot of pressure on me to perform well, right? That actually maybe have even hindered my performance at times. I felt a lot of pressure, and I think maybe when somebody would make a point on me, I would start feeling anxiety and getting worried. I think now I kind of was able to put that to the side, all that pressure, and think, okay, I'm just going to compete for me, and people can see it however they see it. They see it at me as representing my family, but I'm going to go out there and represent myself. I've had a few older black belts tell me, man, go out there and compete. Go out there and compete for you. Go out there and challenge yourself. Forget about everything else. Forget about the pressure. Forget about the pressure from your family, the team, and the name that you carry. Just in the end, like, you're doing it for you, and years from now maybe no one's gonna remember anyways, so just go out there and enjoy it and take it the most out of it that you can.
Então, trazer o braço dele para você, ele não faz de longe, faz de perto aqui. Eu estou trazendo ele para mim também aqui. Depois eu vou segurar aqui, cotovelo, fechado. Então, não tem para onde fugir. Então é só esticar o braço, traz para você, passa a perna. Porque muitas vezes o que vai acontecer é ele vai tentar pular do outro lado. Então se eu só levanto a mão aqui, ele pode até pular de cima da minha mão. Mas se eu ficar assim, se eu levantar do lado assim, é muito mais alto. Eu posso achar o corpo dele e vou botar esse pé para trás. Primeiro, antes de ir para frente, eu vou botar o peso em cima dele aqui. Agora eu vou ir para frente.
I always tried to make Jiu-Jitsu fun, and some people would describe my Jiu-Jitsu as being a little bit acrobatic, I do some like jumps and flips and cartwheels and stuff like that. Not a lot of strength, but a lot of movement, And I think you are able to learn a lot when you really let the Jiu-Jitsu let it go, let it flow and just let it happen and let your instincts kind of take over instead of playing like a very tight game where you have to analyze every situation before you make a move. I mean, I think at first, especially in your growing stages, you know, at the lower belts and intermediate level, it's good to just let your jiu-jitsu grow in a more fluid way. So I remember as a purple belt and even brown belt, I trained a lot like that. And then I remember being in New York one time at Renzo's Academy, and one of my cousins, it was Igor, my cousin Igor, actually said, you know, I asked him how I was doing, and he said, man, you should try to control the fight a little bit more, because people escape a lot out of, you know, position. You get to a good position, but guys will escape, you know. And I think my dad has also told me the same thing, so I enforce that into my game a little bit more now. And I think that's important, especially when you're, you know, at that high level. You can't give as many opportunities for your opponent to recover his position, to recover himself. You get to a good position, you can't let it go. You gotta think, okay, this is the end of the line for him, you know, like I'm gonna finish the fight here, you know. I think you have to sometimes not think of jiu-jitsu so much as a fight. You have to think about it as like a game, you know. It's just a game. Play the game, move, get in every position you can, transition from one move to the next, and develop as much as possible and explore your jiu-jitsu, you know, exploring every position and every possible submission, and that's really how jiu-jitsu develops, you know, not only for yourself, but in general, you know, like people find new positions. Jiu-jitsu, you know, grows as an art, you know. Well, I think it's a continuous, you know, evolution of jiu-jitsu for each person, you know, and you're never gonna get to that point where you're like, okay, enough, you know, I learned everything, you know, I'm done, you know. So you always gotta think that there's something more to learn, and there's always a way to get better, and you can always learn from anybody, and anybody can influence your game to evolve and improve in certain ways. You know, the best way is just you know, don't focus so much about like, oh, I have to improve. Just have fun with jiu-jitsu. Just like any sport, you know, what they say in surfing, the guy that is the best surfer is the guy that has the most fun, you know. So it's kind of the same thing in jiu-jitsu, you know. You see some of these really good guys. I mean, they have so much fun, and they are so technical, you know. And if you really enjoy jiu-jitsu, you're gonna be good. You're gonna keep doing it. And it's just mat time, just being on the mat, training, you know, you're gonna get better no matter what, just by being there, you know?